Hello and welcome to this video of monitoring software usage with CQFlexMon. Today we're going to have a look at the application monitor module within CQFlexMon. My name is Jeremy. I've been working now at Symmetry for 24 years. I've been a hardware engineer and progressed to an IT solution consultant. I've always got involved in Autodesk software with helping our customers licensing that software, deploying that software, and now I'm helping our customers monitor that software and make some more decisions and informed decisions of as they progress through different licensing to help them really make those decisions of how many licenses they use, how many licenses they need with their subscriptions. So today we're going to have a look at the application usage module. So the application usage module is where we've been receiving information from monitoring executable files. So this is really in previous videos of the configuration module, we've been looking at adding executable files in. So historically, we've looked at monitoring software by talking to a license manager. So if we pick the information from a license manager, we populate the database. Now, some software runs as standalone software that doesn't communicate with a license manager, therefore we can't monitor it. So this is where we're monitoring executable files on your endpoints. So what we can do is we can have a look at that software. So we'll have a look at the Autodesk software first of all. So this is where all of your endpoints have been receiving information of monitoring executable files, storing it on the device and then pushing that information into the database. We can then report on that. So we're going to pick Q1 2021. We're going to pick all of the computers and we're going to pick all of the users. You can configure these. We could create groups of users. We could also create groups of PCs, but we want an overall picture of Autodesk usage across this period of time for all computers and all users. So what we'll do is we'll see this result and then we start to look at this information. So we can start to pick up their username. We can then we've talked to Active Directory, got their first name and last name, their display name. We're picking up the computer name. We're picking up any AD attribute information like company, department. We've also analysed the information. So we've analysed the information of where that ACAD.exe file has come from. When they've opened up that software, the caption name may well appear in the corner or in the centre of the screen. So we have worked out that this user has actually opened up AutoCAD 2019. We've then got the statistics, how many times. So this user has opened up Autodesk software or AutoCAD 2019 software 4 times for 98 minutes. So we can see that information. We can actually break that information down into very, very granular details. So what we can see here is these are the usage statistics. So we've actually picked up all of the usage statistics and broken it down into exactly when they've used these products. Now this is very useful information and we can copy and paste this information with headers straight into Excel to produce your report yourself. You could copy it straight into an email if you wanted to as a table because it's an Excel engine within CQFlexMon. It's very, very easy to do that. We've got some default templates here. So this template will take the information straight into Excel. It will populate one of the pages and then base the pivot tables and graphs and charts using that information. So we start to see this information of how we can see this and break it down. So here we've got a pivot table where we can start to look at different information, different people using different products. Very, very easy to see who's using what product for how long. Hours per usage, very, very useful information, different company information. If your Active Directory is structured with company information, we can start to break that down per company or per department. Great deal of information of how many hours certain products. So AutoCAD 2021, very, very high used product. And again, different information, different charts, useful information that we can start to see across these different information that we're getting from CQFlexMon straight into Excel. That's one of the default templates that we've got there. We'll then have a look at another one. This one will show us user activity, but also show us inactivity. So sometimes This information behind the scenes will actually see who's using what product for how long. But sometimes it's very, very useful information to find out who isn't using a product, who's had that license assigned. So good example would be for Microsoft Project or Visio. Some people will request that license. You assign that license, but you've got no idea if they're using that particular product. So this will tell us. So this user, we can start to see that they've had 2 usages. So bear in mind, we've picked Q1 2021. This user has used 2 Autodesk products or usage of 2 Autodesk products across that period of time, but 50 inactivity days. These are the very, very high activity users, so 0 inactivity days. But we've also got a heat map here, so we can start to see this heat map. This heat map is very, very useful because these are really the users that we want to target and have a little look at to find out exactly what they're doing. So they've used it once, for instance, or we need to find out what they're doing. Are they just opening up AutoCAD to view a drawing? Are they opening up Revit just to view a drawing? So conversation with them to find out what they're doing. It's very, very a waste of a license, especially if they had an AEC collection license assigned. It's very, very waste of that high cost product for one person that's actually only going to use the very product very, very infrequently. So really, these are the ones we want to target. They could be a very good candidate for flex token licenses. If they still need to use the product to actually produce drawings or models, we don't want to stop them from doing that, but depends on their usage. We really want to allocate the correct license for them. So another report that we've got for the application usage module is unique users per version. So this again will take the information and populate the graphs and charts in the default template that you would get with CQFlexMon. And this is a very, very easy way of seeing still how many people are using older versions of the products. So we can start to see here that we've got AutoCAD. AutoCAD 2016 is still in use. We've still got 3 people in that quarter that are using AutoCAD 2016 and still 2017. So like I mentioned previously in a different video, if your subscription has gone up to 2023, you might not legally be allowed to use 2016. So really we need to find these users, and we could quite easily then report in CQFlexMon on AutoCAD 2016 in the license usage module to find those users to get them upgraded. There should be no reason why these users of this older software cannot go up to 2016 AutoCAD because, 2023 AutoCAD. Within AutoCAD, you can actually save those drawings back to previous versions if you need to. So Revit's slightly different picture. We don't really see a big peak of Revit licenses on a specific version. That's really because a lot of the projects within Revit, if it starts as a 2018 product, it may have to carry on as a 2018 product because you're working with different consultants, different clients. You all need to be on that same version of Revit. As soon as you upgrade your Revit project to 2019, everyone needs to use 2019, and there's no way of actually reducing that back to the previous version. So this is why we don't really see peaks. We see a lot smaller different versions, but again, still highlights the fact that Revit 2016 and Revit 2017 are still heavily used in your organization. So one of the other reports we'll have a look at is an inactivity report. So this is very, very similar to the previous inactivity report with the heat map. This just one enables you to pick the software from the list to start to have a look and see what version. It just makes it a bit easier. This isn't, you can actually do it per version rather than the usage. You can actually pick on these versions. So those 3 users, for instance, of AutoCAD 2016, we've got them straight in this report. Had a lot of inactivity days, but these people 0 inactivity days. So again, makes it very, very easy for you to see the usage statistics with the username, so you can actually have a look at that information. So really those are the default templates that we've got, and these default templates can be applied to multiple different software. So it's not just Autodesk software that we can do. We can see here in this demo database, we've got Adobe software, so we can produce exactly the same statistics. So this is where we're monitoring InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator on the endpoints and receiving the information in. And again, any of these reports can be taken into Excel using the default template, and we can start to look at the same information. So again, if your Creative Cloud licenses are getting quite expensive and you're not sure how many people are using those products, this is exactly what we want to start to look at. Break it down into information. We can start to see Illustrator 2018, 2019, different granular pieces of information across these different templates. And again, any version or any software that we've got, we can actually start to look at. So this demo database has a lot of software. This is actually a customer database that we've converted into a demo database, and you can see there's a lot of vendors in here that we're starting to look at. So this is really a lot of vendors that this customer wanted to monitor, therefore hopefully reducing their subscription costs, saving quite a lot of money, because once we've found the information out, we can make then a bit more informed decision of how many licenses we should be able to use, and hopefully get those subscription costs down. If it turns out that you do need the same amount of licenses that you've currently got, that's fine. If everyone is using the software day in, day out, then that's fine. We don't want to stop people from producing data. But on the flip side of that, we don't want to be wasting licenses. So thanks very much for having a look at this module, and I'll be in touch soon with another video.